Oh no, I think we've got a problem. Hey guys, Anthony 4x4 diesel. Can you check? Is this a 2012 Prado? We did the injectors in 2019. It's 2020 now. Vehicle's probably only done 30,000 Ks since then. 178k on the clock, but straight over to the feedback values. Look at that, -3, -2.9. So it came in warm when we plugged in this diagnostic tool. We didn't see this. What did we see? A -1. That was it, right? So it's like, oh yeah, you get that. That's normal. So I said, but that's not enough. We gave it a thorough check over. We couldn't find anything obvious that would cause what we think. But to be quite honest, looks like there is something going on here. And this could be the first time out of, we're talking hundreds and thousands of injectors, right? So 178,000 Ks. I'll have to look up how many Ks we did the job at. Obviously it's out of warranty, but it's about 3 years. So, but what we do is, this is where we've got an awesome extended warranty, and we will help out because I think that's a fair thing to do. So regardless of the 12-month 20,000 K manufacturer warranty, it's not going to be another full price job. What we're going to do to rectify it, I'm not sure yet. What's caused it, I'm not sure yet. Like I said, that some of that fuel didn't look too good, but certainly the vehicle is at full operating temperature now. I'll just demonstrate just quickly. Right, you can see the load. Let's look at the load straight away. That demonstrates, well, I was going to say that demonstrates a problem, but it doesn't really, because most commonly they're around 15, you know, the 14.9, 15.2, but they can go down to about 13 and up to about 18. So the load not telling us too much. Coolant temp 82, so pretty much at full operating temp. So what we did, we said, well, let's go for a drive while it's cold. Straight away, start it up. So 2 of us in the vehicle, 1 watching the diagnostic, and we haven't been happy with that feedback value down here since the engine went there at -3.2. Look at that, right? Bloody unbelievable. Look at that. Get a photo of that. Anyway, basically we haven't been happy with the diagnostic side of it since the engine started, this time when it's cold. But driving it cold, this is where I said, you know, I really want to put my ear to it, and you might need to do this more than once. So stone cold, we got in the car, drove out, and accelerating away at light load, what comparing to other vehicles with new injectors and in good condition, we weren't impressed. But then as it warmed up, it got quieter, and we went, oh, maybe we're umming and ahhing. And the thing is, you got to stop. Look at this, -3.5. Look at this. Get a picture of that, would you? Well, it's just going to sit here for a minute. We've got to hear that knock. There's a slight little knock, knock, knock. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but we can hear it. I don't know if the video can pick it up. We've got another vehicle here that came in on tow truck with a cracked piston, so there'll be videos on that. So be sure to subscribe and turn the bell on so you don't miss the action. We're on -3.6, mate. That is well out of specification and completely abnormal. Now you got to be careful here. You know, we in another video we said, you know, replacing one injector can be a problem. Now, if you've got old injectors, or they've done 80 or 100 or 150,000 Ks, that's one thing. But when you've got injectors -3.8, right? So when you've got injectors that have done 20 or 30,000 Ks, and it appears to be, well, quite honestly, it does look like the #1 injector, which was the original information provided by that other workshop. So I'm quite surprised that I'm just getting a wow factor that somebody actually gives some information, where they've sort of given the look and the nod to each other, going, they've given some information that could have been right. But so when it, well, -4, it's just hit -4. Give me a photo, give the man a photo, right? Anyway, I know, -4, mate. That is crazy. Never seen anything like it, guys. But like I said, if it happens, we're going to show you, because that's what we do. It's the real channel. This is not fancy introductions and fancy little this, that, and the other. It's just how it is. It's not why aren't I in the video. It's not about me. We've got enough famous faces. I don't need to be -4.1. This is off its head, right? So, wow. This is like wow factor. Anyway, I've never seen this before, right? This is what we see in, you know, the old Hiluxes and 120s, and injectors haven't been changed. We can show you some of these readings on that other vehicle over there with a cracked piston. Yeah, we can show you 5s on that, probably on more than one cylinder, but on this one, minus 4.1, this is a 178,000 kilometre beautiful, well looked after Prado, where the squirters were done as prevention. Minus 4.3, give the man a cigar. I'm telling you. Right, now, minus 4.4. Alright, this is what we like to see. This is why you've got to spend the time, because if we just based on, we've done a service, we've checked this, we've checked 4.6, we've checked this, we've checked that, 4.7, man, never seen anything like it.
Is it going to hit 5?
I don't know, let's see. 4.9. 5 is the limit of the software. It's not even a laughing matter anymore. It's not even funny, all right? As soon as it hits 5, look, we've got other numbers going up as well, but that's compensating, right? Minus, so we've got all the others. This one's, yeah. This is what you got to be careful of, right? Hear that little tapping, knock, knock. So we want to believe that number 1's the problem, and it could be the problem. But now we've got the others adding fuel. It's a little bit rough, is it? You can feel it, yeah? A little bit, yeah. Oh, minus 5, there we go, there it is. That is off its head. I wish these injectors were under warranty. But they're not, so it's a joke to even try. As I said, the serial numbers, the suppliers, they might not know straight away, but they work it out when they go to their supplier and their supplier. You know, back to these injectors would end up back at the factory in Japan. We're sitting on minus 5 now. Do you reckon we've got a problem? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Anyway, yeah, nah, it's cactus, mate. There is a problem. I'm going to say we're going to replace number 1 injector most likely. I've got to think about it though, but it's pretty obvious from how far this has gone that there's a problem with number 1 injector, and I'm quite surprised, but you know, what's the saying? You know, credit where credit's due. Somebody said number 1 injector and they were right. Wow, it's still wow factor. I know it's a boring video, isn't it? But you know, there it is. You can see it for yourself, so it is possible. And this is why we need to take the time and just make sure what's happening is what's happening, and not just go, nah, she'll be right, mate, see you later. I don't think there's any need for that. You know how we said, let's do it again in the morning if we're not quite satisfied now. We don't need to do that. We're quite satisfied that there's definitely a problem. Now, if the injectors had done a heap of Ks, it'd be replaced the whole set. Because they've only done 20 to 30,000, we'll probably put a number 1 injector into it, and it'll probably want a new fuel pipe as well, because new injectors, new pipes, because those pipes suit that injector. Anyway guys, there's another boring video for you, but bada bing. Like I said, hundreds of these, thousands of these, right? These sorts of things. I'm talking about thousands and thousands, probably tens of thousands of injectors. I lost count ages ago. I don't want to say millions and try and exaggerate, but it's certainly not that many, but lots of injectors, and we've never seen anything like this. And it actually runs pretty well, but it is making a correction there. Anyway guys, that's it, right? Stick around, subscribe if you want to see the info in the next videos and the other videos. You got the injector information playlist. What you'll see next is probably more exciting than this. Cracked piston on a 120. And you know, same old story. Who can have a guess how many Ks it's got on it? Who can have a guess if it's had the injectors replaced, or if they've ever been out? Who can have a guess if the seats are leaking or not? You know, all that information will come out eventually. Anyway, that's it. Have a nice day. It's going to be better than that 120 owners, because I haven't let him know yet. He's got a cracked piston. That's my next job as well. So we've got a few things on the go. All right. Beer o'clock. Catches. Now, there's always a reason why these things happen, so I've continued my investigation. I've pulled the books out. You can see the date that the service was done, the BFE was done, and you'll probably see back here where I've written, you'll see, because, you know, detail. You know, all the things that are done, right? Bum, 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 right? And then you go 160 and bada bing, bada boom! Everybody knows what happens at 160 going by the service book, and if you go to a dealer, they kind of have to do it as per the book, and I could be wrong, but there it is, right? You know, there's the after me, right? On 2 different occasions, but that's okay, at least it's getting serviced. But you know what I say about that? You take it at one, If you take it at 40 or 80 or 120 or 160, never take it back to someone's going to take the fuel pipes off after you've spent all that money getting your beautiful injectors replaced. And this is every time where there's premature problems with these injectors. We've demonstrated in the videos at 80,000, 90,000, 100,000. What do you reckon happened? Oh, straight after, funnily enough, after the 80,000 service. There's a reason why this happens, right? All right, there's a reason. And this is what's happened here, except it's happened at a later date. This is what I believe. I could be wrong, but 160k service, right? Now we need to... This is what I'm talking about. Let's be really clear here. Maintenance schedule, right? See the third one down. Valve clearance diesel models come across. See under the 40? That's kilometres, 40,000 kilometres. Inspect. 80 inspect. 120 inspect. 160. Bada bing. Inspect. Bada boom. It's not good. Right, so that's what happens, right? Now, one of the things, I don't know if I mentioned in the other video or not, but one of the things that we noticed when we were checking the vehicle, a number of clips and clamps that weren't refitted. Now, when I do these jobs, nobody else is checking my work, so I need to thoroughly check everything so nothing gets out the door. Now, when I've got an assistant, he's pretty bloody good, I tell you what. He doesn't need to be checked, but of course we check anyway. And we sit there leaning on the guards in the front, you know, just lightly, just gazing in, making sure all the usual things, and we never see anything really. If we find one thing, if we've, you know, got through it a bit quicker than usual, we might find, oh look, I just want to push that vacuum hose up a little bit more or something like that. This vehicle, what did it have? 1, 2, 3 or 4, like, there was a few things. And mate, I did this job, right? I did this job, nobody else. And he's going, mate, you know, what do you... And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. You know, there was a vacuum line that was off. There was a plastic clip that was off. There was, I don't know, I can't even remember already, but we fixed it all up. And like, he's thinking, mate, Anthony, lucky you're not doing... I said, mate, lucky you're doing these now, most of these jobs. Anyway, and I'm checking them. I don't know if that's any good. Anyway, get to the point for the people that hung around to the end. The point is, I thought, man, I've been making some mistakes on all these cars. I'm thinking to myself, well, how does this happen? Because I check it, I double check it, triple check it. It's kind of like it can't happen, you know. Back in 2019, it can't happen. And there's all these clips off. And then one thing leads to the next. And it's like, there it is in the service book, 160k stamps. So now we're going back under the bonnet to have a look if we can find some evidence that the fuel pipes have been touched. Because at the moment this is what you call, what sort of evidence is? There's a couple of different types of evidence. I'm not a lawyer, but there's it's circumstantial. So circumstantial evidence so far, all the circumstances lead us to believe, all the circumstances I've explained so far, which is a 99% thing, but it's not the absolute proof. And we might not find that, but we're still looking. This is an open investigation, and the next part of the investigation goes under the bonnet. Have a look at this gem of a thing, this beautiful baby. Anyway, yep, you can see there it is, all the dates of the BFE and the... I'm just going by memory and whatever everything says. That's probably when the injectors got done. So you can, as I said, circumstantial evidence. We're not picking on what they've done. We're just following the circumstances that could have led to this outcome. And things like, now, we do things like we go, see this? I release the clip and undo the zip tie rather than, because this is clipped in, right? But look, I just want to show you, see? Previously been broken. Well, not broken, but, you know, they just kind of, when I say they just pull them out, right? But that one, it's clipped, it's staying in there all right. Now, let's get down a bit further to the next one if I can. Right, now the next one, same thing under here. Right, I'm just going to gently, there's not much holding it. Right, I just want to show you that clip, see down there? Probably can't see too much. We need to get a bit more light works in there. Right. But look, at the end of the day, that shouldn't just pull in and out so easy like that. So at some point, this is what I'm trying to demonstrate. We undo the zip tie. We don't rip it out. Because there's nothing to get in behind inside these plastic to release those barbs. So we just, it takes time, it's time consuming, but we've demonstrated in our videos that's how we do it, okay? At some stage, someone's ripped that out. Now, was that at 40,000, 80,000, 120,000 or 160? I don't know. I can't remember if that was there. You know, that was 3 years ago. So I have no recollection of that, Your Honour. But between those things, it's only circumstantial evidence. What we're doing, we're looking around, we're trying to look at see the fuel pipes? Look at them, how beautiful and clean they are, right? I'm looking at all these pipes, trying to find a mark on them. Now, looking at this job, I don't believe the pipes have been off. They look like brand new fuel pipes, right? The same way they do, right? Hang on, I've got to tell you. Anyway, those pipes, right? They look exactly how they do as they come out of the packet from the box, as these engines do from the factory when nobody's touched them, or exactly how I put the pipes on, right? Without a mark on them. Have a good look at those, right? If you can get any focus on it, right? If we can, let's try. Right? The evidence kind of says that they haven't been off. The clamps, they're in the right position. Here, they're not over squashed. There's a number of other things we've looked at, but what I'm trying to say is, I don't actually believe that these fuel pipes have been off. So even though there's circumstantial evidence saying someone's worked on it, they've done a bloody good, neat job that I can't tell if they have, unfortunately. And another main thing is, usually when the valve cover comes off, if you have a look down here, if we can get down there, you can see, well, you can't see, it's really hard to get the focus and whatever, but normally they get a bit heavy-handed with the RTV, the silicone along the front there, and I can't see evidence of that either. So they could have done a great job, or they maybe didn't take them off. So we're not too sure why this has happened. Like I said, a lot of evidence led towards, I got a bit excited, yes, bada bing, bada boom, not so exciting now, is it? But there was other bits and pieces, clips and clamps and things around, so either, mate, but then other people worked on it, so I'm quite happy to know that it's been serviced twice on 2 different occasions by someone else, because you know that vacuum, there was a vacuum, there's a clip, there's a few things around here, not a big deal, but there's a few things, mainly where you get down here to get to the oil filter and the fuel filter and stuff like that. Right, down here, one of these clips down here somewhere anyway, and one of those clips, but it could be getting to the oil filter, they've bumped it, I don't know. Yeah, I'm really still thinking out loud. What about, see those nuts, so those nuts weren't new when we put on. We could probably tell by undoing them to see how tight everything is, but look, either way, this is what's going to happen, right? Something needs to be done about this. So we're going to work on a solution, and there may be a video on the solution. And when we go into this engine to do that injector replacement, we might notice things where we go, nah, that's not what I do. I wouldn't have done that tight, or I wouldn't have left it that loose, or all the valve cover bolts were uneven. But then if they keep doing a really good job like they have for the rest of what we can see out here, we still might not find any evidence. So we can only hope that we can find some evidence. If you watch this video to the end, mate, you are dedicated. That's awesome. I hope you subscribe by now. Turn the bell on. We're going to have more videos on this one, and there's an even more interesting one coming. Bada bing, I'm out of here. Bada boom, not so exciting. And sometimes things don't work out the way you want, but I don't need to test these injectors. There's definitely a problem with, I think, just one of them. So as much as I don't like doing one injector because they're full DLC and they're not that old, there's obviously some sort of issue there. And you know what? Contamination to it from taking off those fuel pipes, like what happens a lot of the other, like I said, you know how many cars we see at 90, 100, 80 something, 90, 100, 110, like that 111,000 K one you would have seen recently by now. You know, if the pipes hadn't been off, I don't think we'd be in that situation. Again, circumstantial, you know, but, you know, it's kind of I mean, I get it, because even they don't take the injectors out, it's still the procedure to take off the fuel pipes to check the valve clearance. So it's up to you, if you follow my information, to say to whoever you're going to, please do not touch the fuel pipes, take off the fuel pipes, do not open up the fuel system, other than to change the fuel filter if that's something that you want done, right? So they're not necessarily doing the wrong thing. They're not doing the correct procedure by taking the pipes off, bending them back, leaving them hanging there, getting them all dirty, and they are all dirty, and not taking them off and cleaning them, and then just throwing those back towards your new injectors, right? So maybe it is their fault, whoever they are, those people doing that, you know, whatever the case may be, because it happens too much, and it's all avoidable, and Mate, am I ever going to stop talking? I'm out of here. Catch you guys. See ya.